Oh, they're after me. This is the RCB G6, and if you want a totally legal, cheap, and very good actually, e-bike, then you need to keep watching this video. Hello! We are in sunny grey England, and this could be the only bike you'd ever need for a nice, legal, speed limited bike ride. So what is this? It is a drop frame commuter style city e-bike with a 250 watt motor, 13 amp hour battery, 36 volts, front suspension, big wheels, and that's it. Although there is the throttle, but it's only set to work to a legal 3.7 miles per hour. I don't want to go yet. So I'm pretty sure, they call it throttle assist, but I'm pretty sure it's just walk mode. Because the thing about walk mode, it uses a different gear on the motor, so you can't really use it to get yourself going much. It's got a walk mode button there, and when you press it down, it goes forward at the speed you would walk that. However, throttle assist is, to be fair, quite a bit faster. It's not super strong, but it can get you going. So if you need that little bit of help just to get the pedals spinning, it'll be good for that. However, it's not really strong enough to get up a steep hill to get you going. So if you are on a hill, make sure you're in gear 1. It's sad really, because I still haven't seen a throttle assist as good as the green button on an e-scooter or e-scooter SX250, because what that does, it really punches you forward in one sort of instantaneous push that just stops after that, because it's already over 3.7 miles per hour, so it keeps it legal. No one's ever done that. They just put walk mode on the throttle and think that's it. Now we have got a cadence sensor, which means once it detects a bit of turning, then the power will kick in. I've left it in gear 4. So 1, 2, no power, and then the power kicks in. It's not a massive amount of power. Let's talk about these wheels then, as we approach the formerly worst road in Wolverhampton. Now it's just in the top 10 worst roads in Wolverhampton. 27.5 inch tyres, so pretty big diameter. 2.1 inches across, so not too thin, but not so thick they're going to make it hard for you to travel forward. So I'm going up this hill at about 15 miles an hour, which is fine. Feels good. We've got the assistance, because of course, as soon as you get over 15.5, that assistance is going to cut out, because that is the legal requirement here in the UK. But it feels good right now. Me helping, motor helping. We've got front suspension, which is lockable. It's quite stiff, this suspension. It has got another adjustment, but that is just for the travel and not the squishiness of it. So although I've got a suspension, it is quite bumpy over there. Let's check it on an R test. Let's go, R fans. Yeah, that is quite a bumpy road. Yeah, that front suspension is really stiff. I suppose it's better than nothing, but it is very similar to nothing. However, with the decent thickness of the tyres, it's basically like if you bought a mountain bike in the 90s, and obviously they could easily go over stuff like this, so this could too. Just don't go when you're doing it. Right, here we are at the hill. 65 claimed Newton meters. Let's see if it's good enough to defeat the sandiest of lanes. Right, so obviously I can't use the throttle to keep us going at these speeds, but because it's a cadence sensor, it means I can ghost pedal with no effort, and it will give us the maximum power of the bike. So let's see what this 250 watt motor can do. We have got 7 gears, Shimano, Tawny, very basic, but do the job. We're slowing down at the fat tree, so called because it's a tree that's fat. And we're at the grip box. When you slow down this much, it's hard to not try. So I'm actually going to call it, it's not made it up. So second tree before the park entrance. But now I get to show you that when you do pedal, it isn't too bad. This is a kind of hill no one rides up, especially not around 10 miles an hour like we're doing right now. So people always push their bikes up this. And even though it looks like a pretty standard 250 watt motor. Even that makes it fairly easy to climb up this hill. And we're up. Right, let's get the gears going. Let's go down the power for a second. So right now, I haven't got any assistance whatsoever, so I'm gonna go up the gears a bit so it's a bit more natural. Going about 14 miles an hour. And to be fair, it just feels like a normal bike. I think the pedal assists are based on speed, so they take you to a certain speed. Let me just stop. So pedal assist 1 comes in, cuts out about 7 miles an hour. Pedal assist 2 cuts out at about 12 miles an hour. And then pedal assist 3 keeps you going. But I do wish they'd stop doing that with pedal assist. And literally, rather than just cutting the speed off, which I think is a very lazy way of doing it, I wish they'd actually reduce the amount of power you got. Decrease the amount of assist. Hence, pedal assist. Because you don't need to stop. Oh, they're after me. They weren't after me. Another one. Anyway, let's see how the bike came and how easy it was to put together.
It's a big old box. There's inside the box. There's outside the box. In the box there's tools, a stand, a light, instruction manual, pedals, a pump, a lock under there and a charger. Actually the lock's there. This is actually a lot easier if you totally move the computer out of the way, then there's no wires there. And it's, I'm just making it look harder because I'm using one hand. Force that up. Oh, it's good, difficult. And hopefully you won't have the same problem. Come on, get in. Where's the hole? I can't even see the hole. Is that hole that's just a scratch? 'Tis but a scratch.
Other one.
Yeah, got it in. Get the pedals on. Get the stand on. And the 2 amp charger will charge the 13 amp hour battery in 6 to 7 hours.
It feels quite nice pedaling this around. It literally feels like I'm riding a normal bike, but there's a bit of motor assistance. And it's not too fast. It's just allows me to ride the bike at normal bike speeds, which is what normal e-bikes are meant for, isn't it? And if I get over 15.5, then obviously it cuts out, but it doesn't feel like I'm being stuck in mud or being sucked back by a Hoover or a Dyson. Now the screen, let's talk about the screen. It's very, very visible, which is good. It's got nice little orange bars that I thought were moving before, but they're not moving. It just looks like it's the road. You got your miles in the middle, pedal assist level on the rear left, speed on the right, but we are going above 15.5 right now. And for some reason, the speedo doesn't want to carry on past 15.5. I don't know why they do that. I suppose if you're not that interested in knowing how fast you're going, then it's good, because sometimes the police have been testing bikes by lifting up the back wheel and turning the pedals. I know it's a wholly illegitimate way of testing an e-bike, but it's been done. And it's very easy to pedal a bike over 15.5 miles an hour if there's no weight on it. So at least it stops that. But still, I think most people would prefer it to, tell you how fast you're going. It is NFC control, so you turn it on. Right now, the password comes up, but you just press mode to bypass it because I haven't set a password. But I haven't also set the NFC. Quite often they come pre-set up, but apparently you've got to set these up yourself, which I can't bother to do. That's kind of a shame. I wish it just worked. It's like they've just shoved some on there. Here's some random MFCs. I can't bother to set them up myself. But then I suppose you get what you pay for in a way. And they are selling this at $749, which is very cheap. So if they save a bit of time, but just by shoving some random NFC cards on the bike and having you program it yourself, then fair play. But yeah, that is quite cheap. So now we need to basically find out if it's still worth it. Are you buying basically a bike that does everything you want it to do for only 750 quid? Would it fit into my top e-bikes under £800 list? Well, stay tuned. We'll keep talking about it. We are at the point now where I'm going over 15.5. So I'm doing all the work. I'm not now, it's just got under. But what's nice, sometimes bike motors cut out almost violently and suddenly you're sucked back. And then it cuts in again when you drop down, then it cuts out again. And you get this weird kangaroo yo-yo type effect. You don't get that on this bike. It's quite smooth how it cuts in and out, which is good. Just talking about the screen, you got a little cluster on the left with your controls, up, down, power button, lights, walk assist button. You can press the mode button to cycle through trip, the time, voltage of the battery. Speaking of the battery, it's 36 volts, which is basically the lowest volts you get with an e-bike generally these days. Let's have a look at that. Let's remove the battery, put the key in there. Turn the key, flips up, and there is the 36 volt 13 amp hour battery. Let's put it back, and it just slots in, push it down and you're set. You don't need the key to run the bike, which is fine. I say as long as you can remove the battery very easy, and you can. It's a very understated but not ugly e-bike. A nice little rock our life, not rock your life, rock our life, rock RCB's life by buying the bike. So when you buy the bike, they get a little rock. So 36 volts, 13 amp hours, 36 times 3 is 108. Well, is it? Yeah, it is, isn't it? 108. 36 times 10, 360. So 408 watt hours capacity. And they reckon you get 50 to 90 kilometers on it. Well, if you stand at over 15.5, then true, you can get infinite miles, as long as you have your ready breath. We'll pop in at the end to see how good that is, how realistic those claims are. But first, let's see how heavy the bike is and who would fit. Weight, 24.5 kilograms. I did notice the box itself was pretty light, so, yep, you can get them upstairs. Well, some people will, some people won't. Lowest position, I've got a 31-inch inside leg, 5'9". I think I'm quite relaxed right now. You'd probably be okay on about 5'4" or something like that. I think you'd be fine. Right, max height. And I cannot reach the floor. That's like 6 inches off the ground, that isn't it? Yeah, 6'5" plus. Now we have got mechanical disc brakes. So let's test those out. No one behind me. We're going around 15, well, pretty bit faster than 15. About 15 miles an hour, these white things. Oof. Now the stand seems a bit short, actually, but it is adjustable. So I could adjust it and make it longer, but right now it's set up a bit short. But it is a good stand. Because it's a tall bike, it needs extending. So keep that in mind if you get it, because a bit of wind will blow it over. Hopefully it doesn't get knocked off the plinth. Anyway, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I think I was going 15 miles an hour. It felt fast. Oh, it's step through, isn't it? So I don't have to put my leg over, which is nice. Let's talk about some accessories. So, hand grips. Cheap hand grips. They're okay, they're just hand grips. They've got palm rests, but they're very small. I suppose I probably just need to angle them up a bit low to get the full comfort. They're okay. We got a little bell. I quite like this style of bell, actually. It's kind of rubbish in terms of it's quiet, but it's understated. It doesn't get in the way. It's very thin. You heard it. Front and rear lights, which seem pretty decent, and the rear lights are brake lights. All wired in, which is what you want. Quite often on cheapo bikes, the rear light would be like a battery powered light and you've got to keep changing the battery. Not on this one. No siree. We got a rear rack, front and rear mud guards, which remember, quite a lot of bikes don't come with mud guards and you're going to pay like 100 quid to get them. So that's good that you get that. The wiring, it's all quite nice. Gets tucked inside the bike. It's a very, very tidy bike for 750 quid. You would get many more expensive bikes with basically the same features. And I don't mind that there's cable disc brakes because you're not really going that fast on this and they're fine for 15 miles an hour. It's a solid bike. It's not exciting. Well, I suppose it might be for other people who haven't ridden a load of bikes. But you know, when I go to Alabama and do these ones, they're a bit quicker. This is just a nice relaxed bike. And it is, I think, it is basically what you need. If you just want a commuter e-bike that's legal and cheap, then you could do a lot worse. And we've still got full bars. Oh, it does have an app as well. I haven't downloaded it, but I've seen clips of it. It's one I've seen before. It does very basic things, so you don't really need it. There you start going yet. Woo! Right, I think that would be a good time to pop in and see Alex of the future to find out what range you're going to get on this battery. Started tipping it down, so I've had to cancel, well, finish early my my laps where I add mileage to the bike. I've done just under 13 miles, but we literally just lost the first bar. So that's pretty good going, to be honest. And I think this could easily do 50 kilometers, which is their kind of lower end. 90 by staying in level 1. Also doable, however, you'd have to be in level 1, which sucks. But definitely 50 kilometers, easy. Especially because it's very easy to pedal over 15.5, so you're doing a lot of the work. Saddle, not the most comfortable. I'm starting to notice it's a bit hard. I don't know, I think my rear reacts differently to other people's rears to saddles. Let's do a 0 to 15 test. The wind's in our face. This is why I don't really record 0 to 15 tests anymore. I'll tell you them, but I'm not going to do a leaderboard. Right, 1, 3, 2, 1, go. It's not going to kick in yet though. Oh, kicked in. And stop. There you go. Not too bad. I think you'd like this. Anyone who hasn't tried an e-bike before, when you get on something like this, you'll think, whoa, what the hell? It's pushing me in the back. And you'll love it. But, oh yeah, quick release front wheel. I mentioned that, didn't I? On the unboxing. Yeah, I quite like this. I think RCB have made a very nice, cheap e-bike that a lot of people are gonna quite enjoy. Obviously, check out your owner reviews. Those people have done hundreds of miles on them. See if they're any good. Don't ever trust website reviews because they're quite often just people who work there pretending to be other people. And if you're interested in this, do check out the link in the description. If you use it, it will help the channel. And I'd very much appreciate it. And we'll see if we've got a discount code to make it even cheaper, because then you got amazing value. So this, I know it's not been the most exciting of videos, but it is just a very solid e-bike that is friendly to the wallet. So if you enjoyed that video, do give us a thumbs up. If you didn't, thumb us down and let us know why, so I can improve and get better. Thank you very much for watching this video, and ride safe out there. Have I got something? Have I forgot something? Have I forgotten something? Look, I've forgotten something.